Hi, you're welcome to my short course on business idea creativity. No doubt about the fact that business creativity is something that's very interesting and sometimes very intriguing. And over the period of time, there have been instances where people, even despite the fact that they have the needed resources in terms of financial resources, they often find it challenging to come up with a unique business idea. So no doubt about the fact that this course would be of help when it comes to creating a unique business idea. And no doubt about the fact that generally every human is irrespective of background has this inbuilt creativity because but in most instances we rarely look into it, we tend to ignore the creative part of us. And knowing fully well that business creativity is often locked down to creativity. And thus it is important to see how best one could annex his or her creativity concept. When we talk of creativity, let's take for instance, here we have a rectangle. And in this rectangle, we can as well change its shape and, be creative with this rectangle. Let's take for instance, we could have something like this, or something like this, or something like this. And before you realize it, you create something out of it. Here's a rectangle design, but we actually create another design from it. So that's how creativity often works. That is, being able to play around, analyze information, those scenarios, and come up with something unique. And it is on the basis of this creativity that business creativity is being established. And what's business creativity? Business creativity has to do with one being able to examine a situation or perhaps a business concept or examine an industry and create something out of existing industries. And no doubt about the fact that in every industry there's usually an opportunities or an avenue to create something unique. That's why it's always important when you're trying to create a business. You want to go into a business, into an industry, it is important to examine that industry from the perspective of creativity. That is, you want to create something new, something unique out of that industry. Thus, when it comes to coming up with a business idea or implementing a business idea, or you want to set up your own business and all of that, it is important to use an approach which I often refer to as JET approach. And JET approach has to do with following the basic procedures. To those who are familiar with the use of automobiles, that is driving cars, first when they start their car, the first thing they do is they put it in gear 1, and as soon as the vehicle gets a little bit stabilized, you throw the impact of that gear that there is need for you to change to gear 2 and then to gear 3 at the speed based on the speedometer based on the speed or the acceleration. The same thing applicable to creating business ideas. When it comes to penetrating any industry or coming up with a unique idea, it is always important to use the concept behind this GET approach, that is, to be able to implement theory concept. The first has to do with learning about the industry. Whichever industry you want to go into, the first thing you want to do is you want to learn about the industry. You want to learn about the pros and cons of the industry. You want to learn about the top companies that are actually dominating the industry. And as well, you want to learn from those companies that are not doing fine within the industry, in order for you to be able to learn from what they are doing that's actually not translating into success within the industry. You want to as well learn about those let's say top five or 10 companies within the industry space you want to go into. And you want to examine them in details. What are exactly things that makes them unique? And thereafter you want to take a step further to the second step, to examine the logic behind the industry. Behind those top companies. And what does this mean? The logic has to do with the model of their business implementations. And this entails the operational aspect as well as, I'd say, the business aspect as well. So you want to take a close look and examine them in details. what exactly is the logic behind this business model or behind this company? Because one good thing about every company is they have logic behind their business concept. And some of this logic you could as well, based on your research, you can as well get to know much about the business logic. But when you don't take a close look at the logic, you might not be able to perceive the logic in detail. So it is important to examine the logic behind those businesses and see how best you can come up with a unique business idea. As soon as you're able to examine the logic in detail, then you want to take a step to the third phase, which has to do with reasoning. You want to reason out your own unique business concept. One thing I've come to realize is sometimes people just learn about, they only follow the flex procedure. They learn about the industry, and they learn about the existing companies within the industry, and thus just start imitating the existing industries without knowing fully well about the logic behind their business concept, and as well without reasoning out their own unique business idea. That's why you see in major instances when some companies chooses, they realize, oh, is in a specific industry, some companies are actually doing fine. They just go ahead and start imitating that company, that is, they want to render the same service, they want to produce the same thing, without understanding the logic behind the company's business model. And that's why even while that company is thriving, from years after years, they're trying to imitate the company, they can't really in any way push ahead. Perhaps you see them, it's like, oh, how are these people going around it? They're actually thriving, but the other way around, I'm actually not, they're actually not thriving. That is, those who are trying to imitate the other. And the reasons are not perfect. First, they don't understand the logic behind the business model. And secondly, they don't as well reason out a unique concept for themselves that would be able to help them in order for them to be able to penetrate the existing industry. Let's take for instance, today we have, let's say for instance, if I want to go into the online market space, that is the market space platform where people can buy as well as sell. What I can easily do is, first I would have to examine the top companies that are within that industry. Don't be surprised that there are a lot of companies that are doing fine within the marketplace industry, and basically in major instances, if I want to go into such companies, or if I want to set up something like that, what I'm going to do is I will look into Amazon. Because Amazon is seen to be one of the top leading marketplace platforms where people buy as well as sell all sort of products. And secondly, I would examine Photo. I would examine eBay. eBay as well is actually doing fine when it comes to platform, that is platform that serves as marketplace. And aside eBay, I would as well look into Photo. That is, if I'm to establish or set up something like that here in sorry, not United States, in Germany, because currently I'm in Germany. So if I want to set up something like that in Germany, set up an online market space in Germany, I'll look into this three different companies. If, for instance, I'm in the US or I'm in Canada, I would as well examine the territory. I would examine what's prevalent there. I would examine the top 5 companies within the online market space and examine what exactly it is they are doing and what's the industry about. I'll learn about it. I'll learn about their business logic. Take, for instance, Amazon sells all sort of products, and it gives opportunity for others to come to his platform and sell. He has his own products that sells, to sell. And as well, he has his own, he has a unique customer service. So that's one of the logic behind the business. So I try to examine in details what the business model is all about. And also take, for instance, eBay. eBay doesn't have its own product. And aside that, he gives opportunity for people to come in to sell their products. And not only does he do that, he gives opportunity for people as well to be able to bid for products. That's why on Amazon you can bid for products, but on eBay you can always bid for products. Even though in most instances some of those products might have been used products, but at least you have the opportunity to buy fairly used products and as well bid for those products. And aside that, let's say for instance Auto as well. Auto is doing fine within, as far as I know of, because I've used them and I quite enjoy their service. And now, one thing about Auto is, Auto gives you products and as well gives you the opportunity to utilize purchasing power, and they give you purchasing power. In the sense that when they give you their product, they give you the opportunity to pay over a period of time. It could be over a period of 12 months or over a period of 84 months. But the good thing is you will be able to utilize your purchasing power to pay conveniently. And now, if I want to set up something like this, if I want to set up an online marketplace, let's say I'm calling it Fair Marketplace, all I have to do is I examine these various companies that are actually doing fine within the online market space and see how best I can penetrate into the industry. If I should go ahead and do the same thing Auto is doing, you realize that I would not be able to compete with Auto because Auto has a unique business model. And now if I should go ahead and say I'm setting up a prototype of eBay, as well I would not be able to try it as such because Auto already, because eBay already has its name fully branded and their models are kind of unique in their own in the market space and people already get to know much about them. If I should go ahead and imitate Amazon, the prototype of Amazon, you realize before I can actually serve as competitor for Amazon, Amazon would keep growing while I would as well keep struggling behind Amazon. But now I need to come up with a unique business idea. For myself, I need to create something unique. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'll set up my own platform. And in my own platform, first, I can either give shoes to sell, or to have my own product, or I can as well utilize, give people the opportunity to be selling on the platform. But this time around, I'm going to introduce something interesting, and that has to do with the option to negotiate for product. And what does that mean? Now, if people should come right to my platform to sell their product. Now, as soon as they post their product, they publish their product on my platform, customers should be able to interact a little bit with the person that's actually selling the product. And thus, by negotiating, you're invariably interacting with the person that is actually selling the product. And before you realize it, you get to know much about, let's say for instance, a customer or someone who is selling a product, an entrepreneur or a trader who put a product on my platform for $200. And now someone wants to buy. The person can easily negotiate. Oh, how about 200? How about 180? Let's assume the cost price for the product, that is the original cost price is 150. And the trader actually wanted to, he wants to sell with a profit of $50. When you see someone bidding for 180, you could be like, oh, I can sell this product and as well, gain $30 and utilize it in the course of turnover to increase my purchase, increase my sales and all of it. So all you just have to do is, okay, yeah, you can actually pay 50, you can actually pay $50 or, you can pay $180. And with that, they were able to interact. And before you realize it, if this person in one way or the other might want to buy something later on, something related to that same product, you could as well see how best you could interact. You see the interaction there, and they will be able to, in one way or the other, retain customers, and a lot of things, it's going to be much more of fun. And now, as soon as this person is paying for, it bids for 180, then I as well gives, what's it called? I can as well introduce the purchasing power aspect of it. That is, you are giving these people, you are buying this product for 180. Then, at the same time, I'm giving you the liberty to pay instrumentally. And what does that mean? Now, if you are paying instrumentally, despite the fact that I give you the opportunity to negotiate, now I'm giving you another opportunity to be able to utilize your purchasing power. You can say, okay, at the moment I'm not so financially buoyant, or I can pay over 12 months, I can pay over 6 months. But you know you've actually bidded for 180, and the purchasing power is there. And before you realize it, I could go ahead and make, people would as well see that it's a unique concept, and they begin to utilize the platform. And let's say, okay, because you're paying based on, what's it called? You are paying based on, you're paying instrumentally. I could say, okay, at this point, you might have to like pay, let's say, 5% interest or say 10% interest for the product over that duration of time, which is one-off. And that wouldn't be much more difficult for some people. And I could choose to say, okay, no, I'm generating my revenue from another aspect. So, but the point is, such unique business concept immediately would fly within the market space industry. And before you realize it, I will be competing as well. Though our model is kind of different, but as well, I will be penetrating the market space and begin to like get my foot on ground. And before you realize it, I start scaling my business and as well begin to thrive within the online market space. So it's as good as utilizing the business creativity in carving out something unique for oneself within the market space. So that's just an instance. Let's assume I want to go into the online market space. And now, let's assume I don't want to go into the online market space. I want to go into another industry, sort of. I could as well utilize this same creativity approach based on the gear approach which we've mentioned earlier, and utilize it to penetrate into any existing industry without any hindrances. And before you realize it, you start dominating your own niche, start dominating your own demographics. But in instances whereby the logic as well as the reasoning is out of the hip questions, you realize most people won't be able to thrive with their business concept, because in major instances, they might want to imitate the existing industry that is creating a prototype of what is already in existence. Let's take another point that I actually find interesting when it comes to unique business idea is Airbnb. When you take a close look at Airbnb, you realize that those guys, they came up from a unique business concept and thus solve problems both within the real estate as well as within the hospitality industry. Prior to the existence or the establishment of Airbnb, you realize that most people, they have rooms within their flats which are not being utilized. There are instances which people rent stereo apartments, and majorly they use the sitting room area, the kitchen area, as well as their own major room. But they have 2 rooms left. And prior to this concept, they never thought of the opportunity to give up their 2 rooms in exchange for 1. But now with this concept of Airbnb, you realize that they were able to rent out their rooms both on a short let as well as a long period let, thereby solving problems both within the real estate industry as well as hospitality industry. And you realize that they were able to thrive successfully without any form of much competition. So no doubt about the fact that when you examine an industry, when you approach a business idea from a business creativity concept, utilizing your business gear approach, you will be able to come up with something unique and just thrive within any industry space where you find yourself. And when it comes to coming up with unique business idea, no doubt about the fact that there are some fundamentals that need to be honest to, and that is secret. Business is all about secret. Be it nature secret, be it people secret. And you realize most businesses that have actually thrived over the period of time, they are always based on this secret. That means there's a unique secret which could as well be referred to as a problem. People in major instances, it's a problem, or perhaps a need. But because people don't actually see it from that perspective, they didn't think about it as from the perspective of problems or needs. At that moment, in major instances, you realize it's kind of a secret. And so that's why you need to ask yourself, what secret is nature not telling you? What secret is people? What the secret about people? I mean, are people not telling you? So when you're able to identify the nature secret, the people secret, before you realize it, you're coming up with a unique business idea. Like take for instance the scenario whereby I mentioned that how we love to set up a market space that gives people the opportunity to negotiate and as well gives them the purchasing power. You realize that such business is kind of a secret. Because in major instances, some people would like, oh, I've never thought of negotiating for a product. And as well, I've never thought of, okay, aside negotiating for a product, I can actually buy a product and pay instrumentally. And now when I'm paying instrumentally, first I've negotiated, and secondly, I'm paying with interest. I mean, I'm paying over a period of time. Let's say, for instance, with 10% interest for whichever product I paid, I mean, I negotiated, or whatever percentage the interest I'm paid for it, but the good thing is, it's kind of a secret, which in major instances those within the industry might have as well not seen, and which other people might as well not put into consideration. And before you realize it, I'm penetrating the industry, and as well, scaling my business and as well dominating my niche and as well thriving within the online market place. So no doubt about the fact that you want to ask yourself, whichever industry it is you're going into, first you want to ask yourself, what exactly is the secret that you need to come up with here? And when you're able to come up with that unique business idea, you realize that easily you will be able to try. Don't be surprised that there are a lot of companies out there who in one way or the other have been trying to imitate Amazon by, replicating what Amazon is doing without any kind of unique added values. But you realize they wouldn't be able to stand within the market space. And there are people as well, there are companies who might as well want to imitate exact prototypes of it, but they wouldn't be able to try because they could try, but they wouldn't be able to stand in synchronization with those who are top within the market space. And when it comes to photo as well, and other companies are actually implementing similar product or similar business model, you realize if you're coming new and imitating their prototype, you realize I wouldn't be able to achieve such thing as much as fast as possible within the market space. So it is always important to see out there you come up with a unique business idea that will help you in order to as well thrive over the period of time. In what should I put it? In our business consulting program, one of our objectives is to help our customers to as well come up with a unique business idea. So if you've been actually thinking of coming up with a unique business idea within a specific industry niche, it's something we could always talk about in one-on-one and see how best we can help you come up with a unique business model that will help you thrive within your market, within your industry niche. So no doubt about the fact that when you come up with a unique business idea, you be able to see also the impact of your business creativity. And that alone would give you these enthusiasms and this passion sort of. And before you realize it, you're actually making moves within the industry and you're actually dominating the industry in a way that we call give you tremendous success, and as well will help you in order to be able to sustain success within your market niche over the long period of time. So this comes to the conclusion of the day one of our business creativity concept, and we're going to talk more about business creativity in the next few days as well. We're going to learn about the fundamental questions that needed to be asked, how you would go about your researches, and how you would come about, go about testing or examining your model or your business concept within the industry space. So thank you so much for the time you spent, and hope to see you as well in the next courses. Thank you.